Hi friends, I'm Maria Miliora. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to discuss the fall of my morals when it comes to consumerism and the almost successful no-buy year. That is until I moved. Until I spent 2.5 weeks house hunting, right? Rather unsuccessfully and stressfully so, though at the end, I am in the house, I succeeded. And all of that coupled with becoming self-employed, so to speak, as a lot of us are right now, and also the quarantine, yeah. So there are a lot of factors that pretty much broke the camel's back. So today we're gonna take on the positive side of such moral demise of my anti-consumerist agenda, and I'm gonna show you all the perfumes that I got.
So, let's start from the one that it keeps growing on me, and I showed you in the last video when I was talking about sort of perfume hacks, when I was talking about body products and things like that. I bought this as a set. That was kind of like one of the first cheating points. I started cheating on my no-buy while still trying to adhere to the rules of that. No frivolous purchases of fragrances, not even those from my wish list, long tried and trusted and wanted bottles, none of that. But I was allowed to use up and buy replacements of body products. So I started buying perfumed body products, and as I'm at it, I discovered that quite a few sets that included a bottle of perfume, which were bought primarily for the shower gel, obviously, right? That would cost me maybe like $1 or $2 more than just buying like a shower gel or a body cream alone. So this is the first way how I managed to sort of technically stay within the rules of the no-buyer, but still buy a bottle of a perfume. This particular one I want to bring your attention to once again because it kind of keeps growing on me more and more. So this is Aubusson. I'll leave the names and the examples of links below if you actually want to look it up later. So the Aubusson and the Histoire d'amour, the love story in translation. First of all, you have to appreciate the beauty and the craft of the bottle, considering that the whole set of 3 items of shower gel, body cream, and eau de parfum cost me, I think, $16. Don't quote me with that, but it was well under 20. Then again, very cheap, relatively well-known, kind of like 80s/90s classic, and the beautiful bottle. That was like what not to love. I also read that there was a very delightful floral fougere. A lot of kind of like green shipper or fougere fragrances, the ones that are more based on any kind of herbal or woody notes with sparkly or sometimes pretty bitter citruses. Those are traditionally from the mid-20th century were marketed as male perfumes. However, there is nothing male or female about the smell of orange, it's just a smell. You either like it or not. So this was supposed to be like a female marketing friendly fougere version. It was also reformulated quite a few times ever since the Histoire d'amour was produced. But I'm happy to say that even though it does seem like it's very significantly diluted compared to 80s and 90s classics, it is actually what makes it so delightful to wear every day. It is, I would say, like imagine something light, almost a little bit kind of like cream soda. You know what I mean? It's both a little bit sour if it's like an orange soda, but if it's orange cream soda, it has that kind of roundness and sweetness to it that is not too much. So in many ways, it makes me think of cream soda with a certain hint of very subtle green notes that are more like an echo. I would say that this is more like a consistency and the power and ensilage of a body spray rather than eau de toilette, eau de cologne, or eau de parfum. But that's what I really like in the Florida heat that is already coming, even though we're not even in the summer yet. I absolutely adore the bottle. It really makes a beautiful kind of like display piece, and I'm not as scared sort of using it for decorative purposes as some of my more pricier bottles, because again, it costs nothing. It's not really a collector's item. Apparently, it is manufactured here in Florida. Little did I know. And overall, this is actually, at first I was like, oh, it's so light. It's not really a fougere. It's not really. And then I thought, like, what do you want from it? It's $16, you know? And for such beautiful, romantic, kind of frilly packaging, you really get a super wearable and somewhat original perfume. Again, all in all, cheap, beautiful packaging, delightful as not as generic of a smell. So actually grew on me quite a bit. Now I kind of like transitioned from just being like, oh, okay, to, oh, I really like it. So this is one of like really lucky finds in the budget category. The next fall of mine began with buying long-standing kind of wish list items, the bottles that I really wanted to buy for a long time, using my Mercari money. I sold a few bottles before I moved. I still can't reconnect with all of my possessions, can't continue selling some of the things and the decants that some of you already asked me about. Sorry guys, as soon as everything arrives, I'll be able to resume, you know, like sort of sharing the goodies, splitting certain bottles, so I can make some money back and buy a new bottle and show you, and you can try some more expensive on each perfumes. So soon enough, hopefully soon enough, we'll be able to resume. But I did have roughly, I would say $400, the ones that I made by like continuously selling decants and the bottles that I didn't want to have anymore in my collection. So the next way how I started cheating on my own rules is that I started using that money. De facto, I was not spending money because that money is on Mercari. If you don't connect it to your bank account, it's almost like points. You make points by selling and you can spend it on other people's items. So it was kind of like a zero-sum game. I sold some perfumes and I bought some perfumes. So it satisfied the rules of not taking money out of my bank account and of doing sort of replacements, you know what I mean? So like I sell and I buy. It was still cheating because the original plan was not to buy any perfumes. I was allowed only exchanges, certain decants and PR, which is not super frequent anyway, so it was not really a concern. But yeah, so this is how I started cheating in the bottle. That kind of like, again, drove me to finally start breaking, technically staying within the rules, but kind of not in the spirit anymore, breaking them in terms of the spirit of no buy, was my first. It's not my first Jo Malone, but it's the only one that I have right now. This is Jo Malone Orange Bitters. This is one of the rare cases where I want to like kind of like full-heartedly support the brand because they have something unique. Orange Bitters is very much a Russian New Year in a bottle for me. So in Russia, due to the revolution and like estrangement from their religion for a considerable amount of years, the main winter holiday was no longer Christmas, and it became the New Year. New Year combined in itself all the holidays in a way. It was like the most grand holiday that I remember growing up. And it was a combination of kind of like festivities, almost like Cinco de Mayo, the Catholic Christmas, the season change celebration. It was like everything at once. It was such an extravaganza, and there were certain staples in everybody's family, on everybody's table, that are all kind of like basically the magic of New Year was put in this bottle. I don't think that's what the brand was going for, but essentially this is a kind of dried skin of oranges and maybe mandarins a little bit because it's sweeter, with a little bit of that kind of mulled wine spiciness. But again, orange bitters, you know what it is. Like, you usually add it to the cocktails of old-fashioned, you know, these kind, like boozier, heavier liquor, not as fruity, not as sweet kind of cocktails. And orange bitters always gives them a little bit of both freshness and a little bit of zest. So this is exactly what this is. This is mildly sweet, yet it's not too floral, it's not too fruity. There is something there in the heart. I don't really care for the full description of the notes because I can't really smell any particular florals or any particular notes, rather than the delightful, a little bit oily, dried orange skins and some of the kind of like hot sangria spices or mulled wine, glint wine spices, depending on which country you live in. You know, the hot wine with spices and oranges and fruits can be called differently. It's delightful, absolutely delightful. This is the kind of orange that it's very appropriate for winter or evening wear, if you wish. The only gripe that I have with this Jo Malone, as well as all the others, is that they don't really last long. These are truly colognes, and I think the generous price for such formulation would be around $70. Realistic price around 40 to 50, and anything below that I would say is like a really good deal. So I got this, I don't wanna let me remember. I think I got this for roughly under $50, which I thought was adequate for 100 ml. Yeah, this is 100 ml. I'll never say never, but I cannot see myself ever buying Jo Malone's full price. This is just no, the formulation is just not worth it to me. So this is how, like, the other way that I started cheating. Let me show you a few purchases, kind of like the exchanges that I did on Mercari. Long-standing want. At this point, I don't know why I even bought it, because this perfume by Narciso Rodriguez, this is what their white cube, which is Narciso by Narciso Rodriguez. I feel like I'm like making a collection of all of them at this point. I really wanted a white cube. For whatever reason, you cannot find it on a good discount ever online. You can find the black cube for like $20-30. You can find the original Eau de Toilette, which is black, or Eau de Parfum, which is pink bottle, for reasonable prices, sometimes around $40. But the white cube, good luck to find it under 60. Consider yourself lucky. I don't know why, but it seems this is like the best selling flanker that they have, because it's almost never, first of all, it's not as common to find it, so I presume people use it up rather than resell, and it's almost never on a good sale. So when I found it for roughly, I want to say maybe $40, I was already struggling with willpower, and this is something that I wanted for probably 3 years, and I just couldn't pull the plug because I'm used to kind of like really spending time and finding a good deal. So I bought it secondhand. This is actually, it's not secondhand, it was actually packaged. I just broke the seal, even better so. So what's so different about the white cube of Narciso Rodriguez versus the other ones? Can't do a side-by-side comparison right now, as for the reasons I described before. So if you guys are curious, I can talk about the comparisons, but using the vague memory, this is way more gardenia-esque. And the gardenia, the one that is more sweeter, more silkier and creamier. Gardenia, depending on how you combine it with tuberose, neroli, and other white flowers, or jasmine to that matter, can be very green and zesty, can be almost bitter, can be indolic, can be predatory, especially with tuberose. This is gardenia and musk. The infamous Narciso Rodriguez's musk that is so erotic and so kind of like sensual in its nature. I find that probably this balanced yet softer, it's like white satin with musk. So it has a little bit of that sensuality in an animalic nature, but it's very much pristinely wrapped in this pearly white satin of gardenia. Very nice addition to my collection, but to be honest, I don't really wear sensual musks in the high temperatures, in the heat, because musk is one of those notes that can unpredictably turn into something that smells more like, well, if you want to be nice, you can say indolic. If you don't want to be so nice, it can smell like poop. It can smell like pee. Musks can smell like body odor, like a really, really bad one. So wearing musky perfumes when it's really hot outside is truly like a Russian roulette. You gotta be careful about it. Sometimes it works, but more than often it doesn't. So in a way, I'm really happy that I closed that loop and I finally have the YQ by Narciso Rodriguez. But now I'm a little bit, kind of feel like a fool, like what, I'm not gonna wear it for at least next 6 months when things are heating up so much. We'll see. Maybe I'll wear it at home, maybe like late night kind of perfume. Maybe it will find a way into my daily routine. We'll see. Okay, the next one that I bought the same way, long-standing, well, it's actually not, it's a recent want, and I found it on Mercari. Very hard to find these for a good deal either. This is Prada, the Fusions de Prada. I already made a comprehensive review of the line on my other channel. If any of you speak Russian, you can find it there. Long story short, 2 of the colognes are my absolute favorites. Oddly enough, the original one, the Iris, is too boring for me, even though it's kind of like the flagman, the cologne, the representative of the whole line. To me, it's kind of as elegant as it is, undoubtedly. It's a little bit boring, and to me, the true cologne that really represents Prada colognes is this one. This is the Fusions de Prada Vetiver. This is the most elegant, non-aggressive, non-sour, not kind of stone-like cold. This is the sophisticated, dry, a little bit powdery vetiver that I can wear any time of the day, at any point. To me, this is like the quintessential working woman perfume. Or man, it's very unisex in its nature. It's very much right there in the center. I love it. So I bought it secondhand. There was like about half left, and I think, let me remember, I think I bought it for maybe $35, which I consider myself lucky because these are not cheap. Some of them pop up here and there online in the discount stores. But if you find the Prada colognes, the big ones, like 100 ml or more, for cheaper than $60, consider yourself lucky, because they're quite pricey for being colognes. All right. So this is how it went when it comes to kind of like indulging myself while still keeping the score even. Okay, I'm realizing the number of perfumes I have to show is quickly becoming overwhelming. So we're gonna pause for now. I'm gonna get some coffee, just refresh my mind a little bit, and we'll continue with these embarrassingly large haul.